Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Ray Kouguell reporting. U.S. envoy to South Korea recovering after knife attack. U.S. ambassador says he's doing well and in great spirits after an assailant in Seoul slashed him on the face and wrist with a 25-centimeter long knife. Ambassador Mark Lippert was treated at a hospital Thursday with doctors needing 80 stitches to close an 11-centimeter gash on his face and surgery to repair damage to tendons and nerves in his arm. Robert Ogburn is the Minister Counselor for Public Affairs at the U.S. Embassy in Seoul.
The ambassador is awake and in good spirits, and he wishes to convey how appreciative he is of the well wishes from President Park, from Vice Foreign Minister Cho, and the many, many Koreans who have sent him messages wishing that he have a speedy recovery.
The attack occurred as Ambassador Lippert attended a forum on Korean reconciliation. Police identified the assailant as 55-year-old Kim Ki-jung. South Korean media report that Kim is a longtime anti-U.S. activist. Suspected Boko Haram militants have attacked a village in northeastern Nigeria, killing at least 68 people. Witnesses tell VOA the militants attacked the community of Njaba in Borno State before dawn Tuesday. Word of the attack took 2 days to reach the state capital Maiduguri, about 100 kilometers away because of the remoteness of the area. Liberia says it released its last confirmed Ebola patient with no new cases reported for more than a week. Liberia must complete 42 days with no new cases reported before it can be declared Ebola-free. Meanwhile, Sierra Leone and Guinea are facing increasing Ebola cases once again. This is VOA News. The top military commander of Syria's al-Qaeda-affiliated Nusra Front was killed Thursday in an attack, apparently targeting a high-level meeting of the group. Abu Humam al-Shami died along with several Nusra Front members. State-run Syrian media report that government forces carried out the strike against the militants in Idlib province. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry met Thursday with Gulf state officials in Saudi Arabia, seeking to ease their concerns about a possible nuclear agreement with Iran. Secretary Kerry arrived in Riyadh after holding 3 days of meetings with Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif in Switzerland. Western officials are trying to reach a framework agreement with Iran by a March 31st deadline. Iraqi defense officials claim they have cut off supply routes to Islamic State fighters inside Tikrit. Militants set fire to oil-filled trenches to stop the government advance. Edward Uranian reports.
Iraqi government forces and a large contingent of Shiite volunteer militiamen battled Islamic State militants for a fourth day of bitter fighting aimed at retaking the strategic Tigris River town of Tikrit. The mostly Sunni town lies 80 kilometers north of Baghdad and is a key outpost on the route to Iraq's second-largest city, Islamic State-held Mosul. Arab media reported both sides continued to dig into their positions, with government forces cutting off supply routes into the city. Edward Uranian for VOA News, Cairo.
The most prominent touring circus in the U.S. says that by 2018 it will end its century-old display of Asian elephants, bowing to growing public concern about how the giant animals are treated. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus uses 13 elephants in its 3 shows that travel to 115 cities a year. For decades, the elephants have been featured in parades as the Ringling Circus arrives in cities. They also play prominent roles in the shows. Ringling says that as use of the touring elephants is phased out, the animals will join 29 others the company owns at its Elephant Preserve in the southern state of Florida. The Boston Marathon bombing trial of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev continued for a second day Thursday with testimony from a survivor who described the moments after the 2013 attack as pure carnage. Race spectator Jeff Bauman, who lost both legs in the explosions near the finish line of the race, told the jury that he bumped into Tsarnaev's older brother, Tamerlan, along the race course moments before the blast killed 3 people and injured another 264. Prosecutors allege that Tsarnaevs are trying to avenge U.S. wars in Muslim countries. By blaming the older brother, defense lawyers hope to convince the jury not to sentence Dzhokhar Tsarnaev to death. I'm Ray Kouguell in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.